Fall is here. The air is getting cooler and crisper. We're busting out all the flannels and we're switching to some of our favorite fall recipes like pumpkin pie or your favorite soup. And we want you to enjoy it, but we want you to do so in a healthy way. That's why we have Dr. Jeannie Sykes with Cone Health. She's a registered dietitian at Cone Health's Family Medicine Center. First up, let's talk about fall and pumpkins. They just seem to go together, and people, they often use them for decorations and jack-o'-lanterns. Some people, they also love using pumpkins for food. So what are some of the health benefits?
Well, pumpkins are actually very good for us. They have a number of what we call carotenoids in them. A lot of people have heard of the term beta carotene, and that is a precursor of vitamin A. The body turns it into vitamin A as needed. It also has other carotenoids, notably zeaxanthin and lutein. Some people have heard of those because they are associated with visual health. There's a lot of evidence that they're really important for good vision. And also, pumpkin has vitamin C, vitamin E, and folate, one of the B vitamins. All these are important for immune function, which a lot of us are thinking about as we enter into cold and flu season and that seemingly ever-present other virus that we're dealing with. Also, potassium, iron, and zinc, pumpkin is a good source of.
Okay, so some people, including myself, like roasted pumpkin seeds. Are those good for you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, pumpkin seeds also have beta carotene, and they also, like the flesh of the pumpkin, have potassium and some iron. They also have some magnesium, an important mineral. And pumpkin seeds, like pretty much all nuts and seeds, are good forms or good sources of healthy fats, some of which is monounsaturated. And we Americans tend to not really get quite enough of that as would be ideal.
Okay, so keeping on this topic, what are some do's or some don'ts to keep in mind?
In terms of pumpkin seeds or pumpkins?
In terms of pumpkins.
Well, for one thing, if you want to eat pumpkins, including the flesh and or seeds, then you want to make sure that you're not trying to use a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin for something you're going to make to eat. You can eat the flesh and the seeds of jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, but you will be disappointed, most likely. You want to buy a pie pumpkin, or sometimes they're called sweet pumpkins. Usually you're going to get those at the grocery store, not the fundraiser where they're all out in the field, and those make great jack-o'-lanterns. They go to a good cause, so buy your jack-o'-lantern pumpkins there. But get either at the farmer's market or the grocery store a pie pumpkin, and you'll be much happier with what you get. If you want to roast the seeds, scoop them out, wash them off, dry them well. You do not want to have them steaming in the oven. You want them roasting. So dry them well, spread them out on an oiled sheet, or maybe use parchment paper if you want an easy cleanup. Roast at about 350 and stir them about every 5 minutes. And they should be done in 12 to 15 minutes or so. They should be crunchy.
I'm definitely going to do that the next time I make some pumpkin seeds. So, Dr. Sykes, I just love fruits. What fall fruits can people eat that's healthy?
Oh, there are so many really great fruits. And a lot of people might not be aware that the scuppernong grape, which is a type of muscadine, that is the state fruit of North Carolina. And when Europeans came to this country a long time ago, they discovered scuppernong grapes on Roanoke Island. That original vine is still there from more than 400 years ago. So we should be proud of our scuppernongs. They are not really quite like the grapes that you buy in the grocery store. Scuppernongs, most people will not eat the skin on. That's why they're called slip skins, because you slip the fruit out of the skin. It's totally edible. You can eat it. It's just that it's quite tough. Most people would prefer not to. And of course, you're usually not going to eat the seeds of the scuppernong. But like other grapes, it's a wonderful source of resveratrol, and that is a phytochemical. Phyto means plant in Greek, P-H-Y-T-O. These are substances found only in plant foods, and we now know probably not nearly enough of the thousands of phytochemicals in produce, but one of them we know a fair amount about, resveratrol, is a very potent antioxidant. Some people consider it an anti-aging substance, and we know that it's very good for us, and grapes are a source of that.
Very, very interesting. So what about seasonal fall vegetables?
Yes, again, like fruits, and I didn't mention, of course, all the wonderful apples we can get right out of our North Carolina mountains. But we have a number of vegetables as well that come that are harvested this time of year. So a lot of people might have an abundance of basil they've been growing. It's not a vegetable, but it's a wonderful herb that they might have more than they can use right now. Well, just freeze it. You'll have it to use all winter long. You can make some pesto or throw it in your favorite soups or, of course, spaghetti sauce. There's a dish that's really wonderful that I think is from Ireland originally. It's called colcannon, Colcannon, and it's virtually mashed potatoes with steamed or boiled cabbage in it. And it's a really fun dish because it's a great way to enjoy probably an even healthier, much healthier version of mashed potatoes. So you mix the mashed potatoes, and when I make it, I use a combination of butter and olive oil instead of all butter. I use a lot of milk in it so that I can keep it moist without as much fat. And a really fun way to make it is to use purple cabbage and purple potatoes. And you have this lovely lavender dish that you put on the table. And you're going to find the kids will be eager to try that because it's so unusual.
Making me hungry, giving me some ideas of what I plan to cook later on throughout the week. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Seitz. And that's just the beginning of our conversation about healthy fruits and vegetables for the fall. When we come back, we'll talk more about different recipes you can make and how to incorporate healthy foods into your diet. Stick with us. We'll be right back.